At GOA, we're in a fighting mood this year. Hi, I'm Ben Sanderson, and today on the Minuteman Moment, we're going to talk about all the fights we want to pick this year with the anti-gun crowd. Now, before I jump into all the fights GOA is getting into this year, you should know that helping us win each and every one of these battles is as simple as picking up your phone, calling your congressman, and letting them know that they should fight alongside GOA to defend your rights. It takes less than 5 minutes of your day to use our pre-written emails or call your representative and let them know to fight for your Second Amendment rights. If you want to know more, visit gunowners.org. Let's make it all of our New Year's resolution this year to be the best gun rights activists we can be. Now let's jump into our fights for this year. Our biggest priority is getting Congress to stop the ATF's registration checks. For those of you who might have joined the community after we explained the rule last year, Biden's ATF is using a redefinition of who's in the business of dealing firearms to cover basically all gun sales. This would mean every firearms transaction would leave a paper trail behind it, a perfect way for the government to know who to confiscate the guns from. If you want more details on the rule, be sure to check out our previous videos on our channel. I'll link a few in the description. Now, we did the exact same process with the Biden pistol brace ban last year. In fact, we won the fight in the House, but it wasn't smooth sailing. We had to force some weaker members of Congress to take this vote. In fact, several GOA allies shut down the House of Representatives for a week in order to make sure that Speaker McCarthy held a vote. When the House reopened, the first bill they voted on was to repeal the Biden pistol brace ban. You can be absolutely sure that the same weak members of Congress will try and worm their way out of this fight again, so we need all the support we can get. Our next fight is defeating a permanent reauthorization of the Undetectable Firearms Act. We had a major victory last year when we removed the ban from the annual military authorization bill after the swamp tried to sneak it in. This 40-year-old piece of gun control that halts innovation for the firearms industry and does nothing to reduce crime is now set to expire on February 2nd. We're preparing for this fight, and there's a good chance that we can win. But again, only with your help. And don't worry guys, we didn't forget about the other ATF schemes like zero tolerance, their illegal registry, or even the unenforceable pistol brace ban. Stopping the ATF from shutting down your local gun store for making small paperwork mistakes using Biden's zero tolerance policy is a fight we want the entire nation behind us on. A quick recap on the zero tolerance policy. Any mistake or error made by a gun store, no matter how small, and regardless of whether any criminal activity happened, is still grounds to have the store's license revoked permanently. This is a clear tactic by the Biden administration to target the citizens' access to the Second Amendment. We're also going to be working on exposing more about the ATF's illegal collection of gun owners' information, or the gun registry. When we first broke the news on the illegal gun registry a few years ago through an information request, it was groundbreaking. But now, we have the opportunity to uncover more about ATF's shady practices. We'll also be continuing our fight against the ATF's pistol brace ban and any future version of it by pushing for an end to short barrel regulations in the NFA with the SHORT Act once again. And finally, we'll continue to hold the line on all funding bills to ensure that not only does no gun control move unnoticed and unchallenged, but also to push for no compromise gun provisions to be added to these bills. Last year, we helped our allies in Congress insert a provision to block the VA's fiduciary program through the Department of Veteran Affairs funding bill in both the House and the Senate. VA's fiduciary rule is a decades-old gun control that said if a veteran needed financial help, they could be barred from owning a firearm because they were supposedly a danger to themselves or others. Well, VA's gun ban is on the chopping block because of our allies in Congress like Chairman Boss and Senator Kennedy using the appropriations process to kill it. We're going to keep fighting to ensure that the repeal passes and we can ensure our veterans aren't treated as second-class citizens when it comes to their gun rights. These funding bills happen every year, and that's exactly why we're always watching them to defend and restore the Second Amendment. We'll be keeping a close eye on everything else Congress does as well, whether that be the anti-gun lobby trying to push through another assault weapons ban or national red flag laws. You can be sure that the entire GOA team will be ready to fight on behalf of our members just like you. And don't you commenters worry, because we're also going on the offense with all of our legal cases this year. Our lawyers are properly caffeinated and ready to throw down in whatever courthouse they need to, from your state court to federal district court or even to the Supreme Court. Here's a quick recap of just a few of our cases. In our pistol brace case, Texas v. ATF, it's still working its way through the courts, and we're staying on target with this one to make sure that Biden and his ATF cronies aren't able to further weaponize the NFA against Americans and the Second Amendment. Another ATF case we're also tackling is ATF's zero tolerance policy in Morehouse v. ATF 2. Now this all started because the ATF randomly inspected Morehouse Industries, our partner in our frame and receiver lawsuit against the ATF. During that time, they found some small mistakes that did not lead to any criminal activity, but still decided that Morehouse needed their license revoked. We're also fighting back against gun control in state governments. Our New York case, Antonyuk, has been a massive thorn in Governor Hochul's side. Serves him right for trying to evade the Supreme Court decision that says they have to allow citizens to carry a firearm outside the house. In Illinois, we're fighting back against the state's assault weapons ban and magazine ban. Right now, our lawyers are getting ready to take this fight to the next level, to the U.S. Supreme Court, to stop all of these infringements. In California, we're challenging the state's ban on carry in so-called sensitive places, in our case, May v. Bonta. We recently won a major victory in this case for gun owners in the Golden State, and we'll continue fighting until Californians can carry wherever they please as the founders intended. And we're sure that there's going to be countless more fights as the year goes on. We stand ready to defend your Second Amendment rights in the courts and in Congress. Now stay up to date with all of our fights for your rights by subscribing to this channel and following all of our social media. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.